Ungovernables, the Captain Screw, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. We're back. We're ready to roll. We're doing a great job. You know, everybody's doing a fantastic job. And Rumble is doing a fantastic job. You know, there's a lot of people, right? A lot of beautiful people. I see a lot of beautiful people. 14,000 big, beautiful, incredible people are watching this stream right now. We're going to have a wonderful time. We're doing a tremendous job. It's Good Friday. I call it Great Friday, by the way. It's Great Friday, the greatest Friday. Happy Good Friday to everybody. We are, it was 4 hours of radio. Folks, just so you know, to the 14,000 of you that are watching us on Rumble right now, I just did 4 hours of live radio on 1210 WPHT out of Philadelphia. Obviously, I'm here in the great state of Tennessee, and I blew off some steam. A troll called, and I blew off some steam, and I cannot wait to post that video later. That's going to be a good time. We got a lot to talk about today, and it is Phone Call Friday, right? So we're going to do calls the second half of the show. Now, there's 14,000 people, and if you melt the phone lines, I will actually be okay with that. So good morning to everybody. You're all beautiful. Look at that, right? We're back from the appearance on Timcast IRL on Wednesday night. That was a fun time. And we're going to have a lot of fun this morning. So look at it. Look at the chat. Let us know. How about this? Let us know where you're watching from so we can feature your comments on the screen. Are you watching from? Listen, a lot of people. Look at all this. Holy moly. A lot of stuff going on here. Let us know where you are, where you're watching the show from. Would greatly appreciate seeing you guys and gals here on Rumble. Look at that. I mean, right off the bat, do we have to bring Mo out right off the bat because of that? We should. This is our hedgehog. Look at all that. Thank you to all of our Rumble ranters. You didn't see them. There it is. Thank you to all of our Rumble ranters. Everybody commenting. If you're watching over on X as well, we greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching here on Rumble and you haven't done so already, Cody Lawnazak over there on X is watching from Universal Studios Orlando. You see that? Wow. He's in Universal Studios. He's like, screw them. I'm watching the show on X. We love Cody. Cody's a loyal listener. He called in last Friday, and that's great. To those of you watching right now on Rumble, greatly appreciate you guys being here. Make sure that you're following this channel. Hit the follow button. Hit that subscribe button. It's completely free to follow LFA TV. You see, I see Syracuse, New York. Stubbs says Timcast was great. Houston, we got Houston in the house. East Tennessee in the house. You got, I can't even follow that. Colorado, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. I haven't seen Bad Moon all week. Yeah, where's he been? Maybe he's on vacation. He's slacking. Brennan's going to break out the megaphone. South Carolina is here. Matt Brown in South Carolina is here. Southeast Michigan is here. A lot of new faces in the chat today. California is here. Florida's in the chat. Buffalo, Texas, which is better than Buffalo, New York, right? If you're from Buffalo, New York, it means you're born sideways. So thank you to everybody who is here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do phone calls second half of the show. It is Phone Call Friday, so you know we love it here on Ungoverned. We do it every Friday. It'll be Phone Call Friday. All right, let's make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it. We have a lot to get to today. Abrego Garcia, Maryland wants him to come back. Did Senator Van Hollen violate the Logan Act? We'll see it. I knew Logan very well. Tremendous guy. And he had an act, and we said, you're not allowed to violate that act. You can't do it. Nobody wants to see you do it. Don't violate the Logan Act. Don't do it. Abrego Garcia in Tennessee. Our good friend Michael Patrick Leahy and the Tennessee Star broke an incredible story yesterday about Abrego Garcia being stopped here in the state of Tennessee. Florida State University, the shooting yesterday, an absolute tragedy. The shooter was apparently the son of a sheriff's deputy. The left is now calling for murder of Republicans openly on X. So that was interesting. Talked about that on 1210 WPHT. And an update on yesterday's story. You know, we did the TDS special yesterday, which I heard a lot of people really enjoyed. That Wisconsin teen who killed his parents to gain the financial means and the autonomy necessary to carry out a Trump assassination. There's an update on that story as well. Before we get to that, folks, I want to tell all 14,000 of you who are watching the show right now to head over to my friend's website, ofpfarms.com. That is Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms.com, ofpfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean. That is SHAWN, ofpfarms.com, promo code Sean. We got a big, beautiful Mother's Day sale going on right now. You know Mother's Day is right around the corner, May 11th, and OFP Farms has done it again. They have crafted fabulous luxury gift boxes for moms that will not break the bank. Our friend Dylan Filion from Iowa said he just ordered his mom an OFP Farms Mother's Day gift set. You've got amazing products in there like the We the People soap, the Outlaw soap with the Mona Lisa mugshots on it, Donald Trump's mugshot. As our friend Snarl Barkey says, he leave you smelling like a felon. OFP Farms lip balm, like this stuff right here. Ditch your crapstick. Crapstick is owned by Pfizer. Do we like Pfizer? No, we don't like Pfizer. The beautiful gift boxes are flying off the shelves thanks to jaw-dropping discounts. So hustle, hurry. Don't miss out. Get in while the getting's good. Right now, you can get an extra 20% off at OFP Farms. That's Oscar Foxtrot, papafarms.com, ofpfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, Sierra Hotel, Alpha Whiskey November, for an extra 20% off of your entire purchase. That's ofpfarms.com. They're in our chat right now. OFP Farms is in our chat. Papa OFP Farms. That would be Corey, the husband of the highly respected Denise from OFP Farms. You can use the code Sean. You see it on your screen for 20% off. That is ofpfarms.com, promo code Sean. ofpfarms.com, promo code Sean for 20% off from now until Mother's Day. Don't miss out. Get in while the getting's good. All right. Quick sip of the tea, because this is hour 5 in a row for your boy right now. All right. Out there, it was a lot of fun on the radio. I got to yell at a troll. It's always good when things like that happen. And now we get to our ungovernable family, an amazing group of people here. We have the UK is in the chat, Nottingham, the UK in the chat. We had Australia in the chat not too long ago, right? A couple days ago. Let's get right to it, folks. Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland man. Unbelievable. Okay? They want to brand this guy as just some dude from Maryland, right? They want to brand this guy as just some guy from Maryland when he's anything but. Anything but. On Wednesday, was it Wednesday? No, on Tuesday. That was the last day that we were live. And thank goodness we were live today, because we didn't want to miss out on all these beautiful, wonderful people, right? And if you're watching, folks, if you hit that thumbs up button for us, you could send this stream through the stratosphere. You know, we've been waiting, LFA TV, for a breakout moment. This is the best lineup you'll ever find on the internet. So keep it locked right here, because this show's on all day on this one stream. You don't have to go anywhere. It's not like we're going from show to show. You go from right here. You stick it, keep it locked right here. Jeremy Harrell's up next with Live from America, the flagship show of the network. And it's a 2-hour show, so you're not going to want to miss that. But on Tuesday, we highlighted that the Maryland man known as Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? They want you to believe he's just some innocent person from Maryland when he really isn't. Okay? This is a guy who is affiliated and had been proven to be affiliated with MS-13, a brutal El Salvadoran gang. Brutal El Salvadoran gang. I grew up on Long Island, and MS-13 had a very strong presence in a town called Brentwood on Long Island, in Suffolk County on Long Island. And it was one of those places you just didn't go because they essentially ran the town. Anytime there was and Long Island's not a bad area. There are parts of it that are bad, but it's generally not a bad area. And yes, I did. January 7th, the Metcalf family got swatted. The one who just lost their son got swatted. Because, of course, the left is married to violence. They love violence. But on Long Island, we dealt with MS-13. We had a very, very large presence on Long Island of MS-13. Donald Trump has even mentioned on several occasions that for some reason MS-13 loved Long Island. Maybe it's the beaches. I don't know. But anytime we would find or hear a story in the news about a dismembered body part found in a park. Remember that story, Brennan, like shortly after we moved to Tennessee? there was a story about a woman's body found dismembered in the woods at Babylon Village, right around Southard's Pond on Long Island. Anytime you saw dismembered body parts, you would think MS-13. These are people, they would give you, they give their victims what's called a Colombian necktie. I know, don't be graphic. I mean, but this is, why am I going to be graphic? Because you have to understand how brutal and savage these people are. How brutal and savage these people are. They cut a hole in your neck. They take the tongue after the victim and they pull it through the hole in the neck. They call it a Colombian necktie. Those are the people, folks, that the left is taking the side of. Now, I'm not saying that Kilmar Abrego Garcia did that to anybody. I don't know if he did or he didn't. What I know is that there is verified proof from 3 different sources that he was a member of MS-13. Here's proof number 1. We did this on Tuesday, but we're going to do it again. Okay? This is the case file. Immigration court. The respondent is a native and citizen of El Salvador. Right? Factual allegations. The respondent is not a citizen of the United States. He's a native and citizen of El Salvador. He arrived in the U.S. at an unknown place at an unknown date, and he was not then admitted or paroled. He's an alien present in the United States without being admitted or paroled, arriving in the United States at any time or place other than as designated by the Attorney General. The next page says, after considering the information provided by both parties, the court concluded that no bond was appropriate. The court first reasoned that the respondent failed to meet his burden of demonstrating that his release from custody would not pose a danger to others, as the evidence shows he's a verified member of MS-13. Verified member of MS-13. And he couldn't refute it. He couldn't refute it. But there's more on this story here. Abrego Garcia, this Kilmar Abrego Garcia, here is information right from the Prince George's County gang unit, that once again corroborates and verifies the idea that Abrego Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was a member of MS-13. Here it is. Gang validation. You see this section right here? It says gang validation. Per Prince George's County Police Gang Unit. So they specialize in this stuff. Abrego Garcia was validated as a member of the Mara Salvatrucha MS-13 gang. Subject was identified as a member of the gang, Chiqueo, from the Western Clique, a transnational criminal street gang. It also says at the beginning of this, Abrego Garcia is a citizen and national of El Salvador. Abrego Garcia claimed to have walked across the desert for many days, entering illegally into the United States near McAllen, Texas, on or about March 25th, 2012. The next piece of information from that same document, the I-213 document, again, no criminal history, but the subject has been identified as a member and an active member of MS-13. It says down at the bottom there, the subjects freely admitted being citizens and nationals of El Salvador by birth and that they were present in the United States illegally. What is the rule that we have about illegal aliens? We deport them all. Why? Because they broke the law. Because they broke the law. That's why. So Abrego Garcia, who admitted to walking across the desert and entering the United States illegally, the very first thing that he did in the United States was a crime. The first thing. Now, the media wants to frame this, right, as, oh, he's a man from Maryland, right? He's just a man from Maryland. Well, yeah, sure, he may be a man, and he may have been living in Maryland, but he's not from Maryland. He's from El Salvador. He's not a citizen of the United States. He is a citizen. This wire is driving me crazy. He is a citizen of El Salvador. He's not a permanent legal resident of Maryland. He is an illegal alien in Maryland from El Salvador. And he's a bad hombre. And we got to get him the hell out. Now, Jackie brings up in the chat, as you see there, he's a woman beater from El Salvador. Now, allegedly, according to a petition taken out against him by his wife, he allegedly committed domestic abuse, which, as you know, I don't like. This is one of the reasons why I despise Andrew Tate, because he's on camera beating up a woman. I think that is unacceptable. According to some reports, right? According to some reports, Abrego Garcia, hit his wife with a closed fist. Unacceptable. But then she came out and said, oh, no, this actually made our marriage stronger. Well, what exactly happened there? Did the gang get to her? Did he get to her? Is it Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know. What I do know is that the left has found a way to continue to choose the wrong people to be their heroes. Just these four people in general. George Floyd, a fentanyl addict with a questionable, at best, history. Luigi Mangione. Say what you want about the healthcare industry. I don't think it's perfect because it isn't perfect. Right? But the solution to an imperfect system is not to go kill the CEO. Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, the thug who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf. And this guy, Abrego Garcia. These people, Mahmoud Khalil, a terror sympathizer. These people choose the worst of the worst to be their heroes. The worst of the worst. The worst of the worst. And yet you have, I considered him up until making this comment, Wes Moore, possible Democrat candidate for president in 2028. He was considered by many to be a rising star in the Democrat Party, maybe up until this. The governor of Maryland says, I want the illegal immigrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia brought back home to Maryland. No. He is home already, you dummy. He is home. It's that scene from Happy Gilmore. Go to your home. They have to, they send the ball home. Just go home. Well, that's where Abrego Garcia is. He's home now. His home is not in Maryland. His home is in El Salvador, where he has citizenship, where he's allowed to be. And the left, oh my God, concentration camp. They pulled him out. He was eating and whining and dining with Senator Van Hollen yesterday. Look, here's another law enforcement official, a sheriff from Maryland, answering the question as to whether or not Kilmar Abrego Garcia, in his professional opinion, was a member of MS-13. Watch.
That case, right? You've looked at the evidence. Are you convinced, as the White House says, he's an MS-13 member?
Oh, 1,000%. Yes, indeed. 1,000%.
1,000.
No doubt. Not only that, he's no doubt, and he's a domestic violence abuser. I mean, in our community, we would screen him working with ICE, and hopefully they would decide to take removal proceedings for just that reason. And he's been through removal proceedings before, and they asked for him to be removed, and yet he was still here. So kudos on the Trump administration for removing a criminal. Horrible on Senator Van Hollen for wanting to bring him back.
Okay.
Wanting to bring this guy back. So you remove a guy who has been credibly accused and verified to be a member of a gang as brutal as MS-13, which is a very brutal gang, although Tren de Aragua makes them look like Girl Scouts. They're certainly not Girl Scouts. You want to bring this guy back. He allegedly beat up his wife. He was, again, we have an article from the Tennessee Star, our friend Michael Patrick Leahy, and the chief editor-in-chief, I believe, Tom Pappert, put this one together. Biden's FBI told the Tennessee Highway Patrol to release Abrego Garcia after they stopped him. Just think of this for a second. They stopped Kilmar Abrego Garcia with 7 people in his vehicle. He was operating a vehicle that he doesn't own. That's not a crime. You can operate a vehicle that you don't own. You can rent a car. You could drive your friend's car. It's fine. 7 people in the car, which means it must have been a very large car. Okay? 7 people. Vehicle he doesn't own. Without a valid driver's license, that's an issue. And then he wouldn't answer questions from the cops. And Biden's FBI was like, no, release him. Release him. What? Folks, I don't know about you, but I voted for people like that to be deported from this country. That's 100%. That is precisely what I voted for. Did you vote for that? I voted for mass deportations. I voted for those deportations to start with the violent gang members first. I voted for exactly what took place. You verified that this guy was a member of MS-13. MS-13 was designated as a foreign terrorist organization that under the Alien Enemies Act gives Trump the authority to get him the hell out of our country. That is exactly what I voted for. And not just me. Not just me. A majority of Americans agree with it as well. This was on CNN. This was on CNN. Majority of Americans support deporting every illegal alien that's in this country. Look at this Harry Enton clip. Watch this.
Deport all undocumented immigrants. Voters favoring the government trying to deport all 11 million of them. Back in 2016, just 38% of voters wanted the government to try to deport all 11 million undocumented immigrants. Compared to where we are in 2025, 56%, the majority. The American people have come a long way on this issue, much closer to Donald Trump, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Americans are increasingly saying the country is on the right track when it comes to immigration policy, and why Donald Trump's net approval rating on that issue is in the positive.
There it is. Why do you think a majority of Americans now want all illegals deported over the course of the last 9 years? Why it's shifted that far? Well, A, because over the last 4 years, so many of them have come in, and it has caused the exact, the literal strain on cities, towns, resources that we said it was going to happen. You bring all these people in, who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers. Where are they going to stay? In luxury hotels. Who's going to put them through school? Your schools are. Whose kids are going to get impacted? Your kids are going to get impacted. The crime, the drugs, the overcrowding. We said that was going to happen. We all said it. Conspiracy theorists, racist, you hate Spanish people, you hate this people, you hate that people, you hate that, da 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 da. We all said it. We all told you. Right? And that's exactly what happened. People woke up to it. They saw it. But not just that. You know why a majority of Americans support deporting every illegal alien? Not just the violent ones. Every illegal alien in this country. You know why a majority of Americans support deporting them? Because they don't want to become the next Laken Riley. They don't want to become the next Rachel Morin. They don't want to become the next Travis Wolf. They don't want to become the next Jocelyn Nungare. They don't want it to be their friends. They don't want it to be their moms, dads, their sisters, their brothers. They don't want to become the next statistic. They want to make America safe again. And getting these people like MS-13 gang members like Kilmar Abrego Garcia or Tren Aragua gang members like the ones that were taking over apartment complexes in Colorado that they told you wasn't happening, right? The same people who told you that Tren Aragua was not taking over apartment complexes in Colorado, those are the same people who are telling you that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a guy in 3 instances, 2 courts, and a police gang unit have verified he was a member of MS-13, isn't a member of MS-13. The same people who lied to you about where COVID came from are lying to you about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The same people who lied to you about masks are lying to you about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The same people, I can't say it. Yes, I can. The same people who lied to you about the 2020 election, whatever. Because now I can't use it as a short clip. I was going to use it as, now I can't put it on Instagram. Who cares? Maybe I'll do it anyway, see what happens. These are the same people who are telling you that Abrego Garcia is not an MS-13 gang member, despite the fact that 2 courts found him to be a member of MS-13 and a police gang member found him to be a member of MS-13. Now, the question is, and I made this statement the other day, I put this up on X, and it seemed to generate some good conversation. What is the one thing I say all the time on the show? It's the catchphrase about laws. Laws only matter if what? What's the rule? Laws are only laws if what? What's the rule? What's the rule? Laws are only laws if they are enforced. If you don't enforce the law, as Great McGroin says in the chat, if you don't enforce the law, then the laws are useless. Then what's the point of having laws? And further, if the laws and the consequences for breaking the law, if those consequences aren't severe, then there's no reason, there's no logical reason why people would be afraid of being caught breaking the law. Breaking the law. Here's exactly what I posted yesterday over on X. I want to get to this. There you go. Laws only matter if they're enforced. If Senator Van Hollen's visit to El Salvador is a violation of the Logan Act, he needs to face consequences. It's never been successfully prosecuted, but you should try. If Letitia James, I call her Sasquatch. She looks like Sasquatch. You know that? If Letitia James committed mortgage fraud, she needs to face consequences. She said that her father was her husband. She's not even married. Lies. That's fraud. Right to jail. If entering our country illegally is a crime, then those who do it need to face consequences. If there are no consequences, the laws are useless, or they simply won't be followed. If there are no consequences, if there's no accountability for breaking the law, then you are setting the precedent that following the law is optional. And that can't be the case. Following the law is not optional. Following the law needs to be mandatory, or else harsh consequences need to be levied against you. We're going to get to more of that in a second. We got to take a quick break. I got to tell you about my friends over at AmericanFinancing.net. That is AmericanFinancing.net, AmericanFinancing.net. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to give them a call because they are a great group of people, folks. They're a wonderful company that can really help you out in your financial situation. AmericanFinancing.net. Folks, I don't know your situation, but with everything that's happening in the economy, it feels like we're all walking on shaky ground lately, right? Prices are stuck at a really high level, and it seems like nothing is affordable anymore. It's no wonder why many people are relying on credit cards to cover the gaps. Credit card debt is skyrocketing, and it's leaving a lot of people stressed out. If you're a homeowner, you don't have to face this uncertainty alone. My friends at American Financing can help you take control. Only a 10-minute phone call, folks. They can help you access the equity in your home to help you pay down that high-interest credit card debt, giving you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people just like you are saving $800 a month. Over the course of a year, that's $9,600. That's almost $10,000 in savings. What could you do with an extra $10,000? Plus, they may close your loan in as little as 10 days. Do not let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing now. It costs you nothing to get started, and you might delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you a little cushion in this uncertain time. Give them a call at 866-885-8027. That's 866-885-8027. 866-885-8027 or AmericanFinancing.net/Farish. It's my last name. AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH. AmericanFinancing.net/Farish or 866-885-8027, AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH, NMLS number 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Next up, our friends at the LFA TV store. To the thousands of you who are watching the show right now, I want you to take a look at the LFA TV store located right here at the beautiful LFA TV website. That's at lfatv.us, lfatv.us. Folks, the LFA TV store has something for you and anybody else who you may know loved ones, mom, dad, brother, sister, coworker, you want to get a gag gift for somebody, this mug that we have on the LFA TV store would be a great, I would say, a gift for somebody who supports Trump, a nice gag gift to see one of your liberal relatives or friends get triggered by a cough. Nope, you can't do it because it's sold out. All right, well, when it comes back, you can go ahead and get it. Instead, you can get the I Don't Really Care Margaret shirt with J.D. Vance and his cute little chipmunk cheeks. I love it right there. I Don't Really Care Margaret. There's something for everybody here at the LFA TV store. Look at this website. Look at all this beautiful merch. Rise Up Coffee, winter hats if it's still cold where you're at. There was like snow in the Midwest a couple days ago. Tank tops, beach towels, ball caps, sweatpants, everything. There's something for somebody, something for everybody at the LFA TV store, lfatv.us or jeremyherald.com, lfatv.us or jeremyherald.com. All right, pause. Sip. Request. Folks, I've been going for 5 straight hours this morning. I'm starting to get a little delusional. Can you please give this stream a like? Can you hit that thumbs up button right down there below the video if you're watching, if you're one of the 11,000 or 10,000, whatever it is watching the show right now? Just hit that thumbs up button for us. It'll help us fly up the charts. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to do calls in about 10 minutes at 631-527-4545. 631-527-4545. We'll be doing your calls in a second. I want to get to this story.
Well, hold on now. Don't
What?
forget the Rumble.
I said that. I just said that.
But I'm reminding them again.
Oh, okay.
Because we're low.
Well, yeah. It happens.
And I'm feeling a little stabby.
Oh, Brennan's getting stabby. Yeah. Brennan's getting stabby. You don't want... See, that's my wife. She's going to stab you. You don't want to play around. You think that MS-13's bad or Tren de Aragua's bad?
I taught them everything they know.
That's Brenda Aragua right there. She'll get you. No good. All right. I want to talk about this real quick. Florida State University shooter, the son of a sheriff's deputy. So to anybody who's calling for gun control, how does gun control solve this situation? The answer is it doesn't. The answer is it doesn't. The deputy, the woman whose gun, thank you to Very Quick in the chat, says good show, first timer, thank you. The deputy whose gun that was, the woman, the female, the mother of the deranged lunatic who went to FSU and opened fire, it was legally purchased. How does gun control stop it? Second of all, the schools are a gun-free zone, are they not? Is there any stricter form of gun control than to say that a zone is gun-free? Wouldn't gun-free zones be a really good way to test whether or not gun control works? So no guns are allowed in this box, right, in the gun-free zone. Yet, a criminal who was hell-bent on killing people brought a gun into the gun-free zone. So, the gun-free zone didn't do its job, did it? What is the answer? In my opinion, the answer is armed guards at these schools. In my answer, the armed guards, my opinion, the answer is armed guards at the schools. You put an armed guard outside of a school or make it known that armed security, and I'm not talking about, these don't have to be people, SWAT teams standing outside locking it down like it's Alcatraz. I'm talking about if a potential shooter knows that a school is secured by armed security and they have authorization to use deadly force in the presence of a threat, i.e. somebody holding a firearm, that shooter is far less likely to launch an attack on that school because the attack is not going to be successful. Right now, what you have is These schools that are gun-free zones, you don't have an armed guard there. Anybody who wants to carry out an attack knows this is an easy target. It is low-hanging fruit. It's a big sign that says it's a gun-free zone. Come attack me. Same with Luigi Mangione. New York City has some of the strictest gun laws in the country. Luigi Mangione had no issue, no problem whatsoever killing Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. If gun control worked, then gun-free zones would see no crime, right? What am I missing? Gun control doesn't work. Gun-free zones are susceptible to crime. And gun control would not have stopped the attack at FSU. I know there's only really, I'll say one of three things that could have stopped it. Armed guards at the school, better security of that firearm by the mother if she had suspected that her son was getting ready to do that. We don't know. And overall in society, just better parenting, valuing life a little more than we do. And can we please stop promoting degeneracy? You know, people think when Megan Thee Stallion shakes her ass in front of everybody that it's like, oh, wow, it's brave. Ooh, look at her, bold. You are, and I'm not trying to be like one of these like stick in the muds like we don't have fun. But when you promote degeneracy, you get degenerates. And when you get people, you know, I mentioned this on 1210 WPHT. Tell me what this, look, you guys ever heard the song by The Offspring, The Kids Aren't All Right? You know, the one of their top songs off of Americana. I think Pretty Fly for a White Guy. I think Pretty Fly for a White Guy was their number one off that album. But look, think of this. Jamie had a chance. Well, she really did. Said she dropped out and had a couple of kids. Mark still lives at home because he's got no job, just plays guitar and smokes a lot of pot. Jay committed suicide. Brandon O'Deaton died. What the hell is going on? The Cruelest Dream reality. And unfortunately, the band has gone completely woke, which is a shame. But they're asking in this song, what is happening to our children? Why are they staying home, smoking weed, drinking, and playing guitar all day instead of being productive? Sounds like society today. This was in, I think, 1999. That this album came out, 98 maybe? People ODing on drugs, killing themselves, turning into folks who have no job. Look, I don't care. You work. You're a productive member of society. Provide for yourself. You want to smoke a little weed at home recreationally? I'm not going to complain about that. I don't care. I don't care. That's you do you. I am very libertarian on pot. That's one of the drugs. I'm very libertarian about that particular substance. You want to smoke weed in your house? If you're a productive member of society, you're not hurting anybody. I don't care. I don't care. It's when you prioritize doing that over working. It's when you are not a productive member of society. You're living on my dime. That's when it becomes a problem. Nowadays, you would see an inverse of this. You'll hear somebody talking about how glorious a life it is to sit at home, play your guitar all day, and smoke pot and not work. That's the difference. And you promote degeneracy, you get degenerates. Like this guy on X. Nicholas Decker. Writing an article, when must we kill them? Meaning us, Republicans, when they're going to kill us, when it becomes appropriate to kill us. This is who the left is, folks. This is not a joke. Let's see if it comes up. I can't get this up on the damn screen every time it does this. There it is. When must we kill them? Nicholas Decker. That post is still up on X. That was a real shot right there, real screenshot. How about this? We talked about that Wisconsin teen yesterday on the pre-recorded episode who wanted to assassinate Donald Trump. killed his parents to obtain the financial means and autonomy to carry out an assassination of the President of the United States, was communicating with Ukraine, according to FBI documents, or communicating with somebody in Ukraine. What am I missing here? Society is failing. Final example about how society is failing. This was just disgusting. The attorney and the family of Carmelo Anthony, the thug who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, the thug who wandered into the wrong team's tent, was told to leave, and killed somebody because of it, thought it was disrespectful for the father of Austin Metcalf to be present at their press conference. This after we find out that family has taken the money in their fundraiser, and they got a house and a new car, and the kid's wearing a nice expensive suit. I mean, who says crime doesn't pay? Watch this. This is sickening.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case.
All right. Now he wants to say that Jeff Metcalf is making this political. Jeff Metcalf, after the whole thing happened, came out and said it's not a race thing. It's not a political thing. Many people were upset that he didn't take a harsher stance. I bet you he just wanted to be left alone and grieve. Just lost his son. It wasn't appropriate for him to be there? Was it appropriate for Carmelo Anthony to be in the wrong tent at the track meet and stab somebody because he was told to leave? And why? Jeff Metcalf left the press conference yesterday. Did he kill anybody on his way out? How on earth that family is going to play the victim? I'm not saying what they're going through is easy. It's not. It's not. But how on earth that family is going to play the victim? It's beyond me. As Dan Bongino would say, moose nuts. The balls you have to have. The balls you have to try and play the victim here. All Carmelo Anthony had to do was get the hell out of the tent, walk away, not stab anybody, and there'd be no problem. There'd be no problem. He didn't do that. He stabbed and killed somebody. Now they're going to say that was self-defense? Like Daniel Penny and Kyle Rittenhouse? Not even close to the same. All right. We're going to do calls in a second. You guys can start dialing in 631-527-4545, 631-527-4545. Let's get to a word from our friends over at Armor Colostrum. Then we'll do calls for the final portion of today. Jeremy Harrell coming up next in 15 minutes with 2 hours of Live from America. 631-527-4545. Folks, I want to get to a word from our friends over at tryarmra.com/LFA TV. Armor Colostrum. You know, I am always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity and gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. Well, folks, this is Armor Colostrum. You could do all of those things too if you partake in the greatness that is Armor Colostrum. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. It'll help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It can fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism, and can fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes' long prize for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex. Colostrum has been shown in research to help enhance nutrient absorption, promote lean muscle building, and improved endurance while fueling cellular repair regeneration for faster recovery. Specifically, colostrum has been shown to improve fitness endurance by 20%, decrease recovery time by over 50% after intense exercise, improve stamina, and specifically build lean muscle mass. We got a special offer on the website right now, tryarmor.com/LFATV, tryarmor.com/LFATV, tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV, Lima, Foxtrot Alpha, Tango Victor. All right. Onward we go. 631-527-4545. 631-527-4545. I see a bunch of people lighting up the phone lines. I'm going to wait and see. There we go. We have a caller coming in, and I have to make sure that we are not muted here. So let's bring up the volume. Let's see if we have it connected. Oh, my gosh, there you are. Who do we have on the line here?
Hey, buddy, it's Liberty. How you doing?
Liberty, 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 Liberty. What's up?
Yeah, there you go. So 3 things. 1, as a medical professional, the BS and lies about cannabis and all this other stuff, the THC content, the hallucinogenic content of the THC in the cannabis currently being sold and promoted by big tobacco and big corporations and legalized is 3,000 times the THC content of the pot of the 60s. I have had kids that have smoked it once and been totally psychotic. I'm talking psychotic. Okay? It is no joke. It is not, oh, well, it's only pot, this, that, and the other thing. I understand people with, end-stage cancer, pain, all kinds of other stuff.
I have heard that it's much stronger than it used to be.
3,000 times. It is carcinogenic massively. If you need THC for medical reasons, THC can be done in pill form.
Yeah.
The other things, the CBD, there are other aspects to the hemp plant that have medicinal things, but that can be isolated out also, and the THC can be gotten out of it. This stuff makes people psychotic.
Wow.
I've had 2 patients personally.
And you're a medical professional.
I'm a medical professional. I'm a nurse and EMT. Got 30 years in emergency medicine. Okay? So I've seen it. This is total BS. And people are like, well, I smoke daily, this, that, and the other thing. That's issue number 1. Take a look at, speaking back to marijuana, I think it was the Up and Smoke is another one. That there are a number of organizations that are talking about this. Secondly, every single school shooting and mass shooting has gone back to psych meds. And the other thing that's creating problems now are the medications for these trans patients.
Yes,
because they are increasing.
The steroids, the chemical castration. Yep, all that stuff.
They are completely and totally changing homeostasis and normal balance of the body. They are creating. I mean, even guys that are like juicing to work out. People would talk about these guys are juicing. They become really aggressive. Yeah. So every, I want to know what meds this kid was on.
Good
question.
Because
every single one of Luvox was Columbine.
Yeah.
Those kids were being forced by the court to be on Luvox. Read the book. 4% of all school-age children on Luvox will go manic. The Vegas shooter. And they cover it up. They cover it up. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this as a medical professional. So they're talking about how there's this rise in children who are diagnosed with autism. Is there actually a rise, or is the spectrum being broadened so that you can put more kids on drugs?
There is a spectrum aspect to it, but no, there is massively a rise to it.
Okay, so there is actually a
documented rise. And notice the Amish community, they don't have that issue. Yeah, we used to joke and say, why don't the Amish have COVID? They don't have TV, they don't have internet.
Right. Wow.
And then the last thing, which is something nobody is talking about, and this one jacks me more than anything else. This judge who is now holding Trump in contempt and was told by the Supreme Court, no, Boasberg. Boasberg is the judge that approved the fight warrant against Trump and the spying by the FBI.
Yep.
Boasberg is the judge that let the guy who falsified the documents get off. He's the guy.
That guy is a bad egg.
He's not only a bad egg. He knows that his onions are in the frying pan.
Yep. He knows that he has to cover himself up here. Yeah.
Right. So how is it magically he gets all these cases?
That's always the way they do it. It's a rigged
appeals
system.
Court.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he's got the appeals court covering for him.
Yep. Rigged
And
system.
mainstream media coming to him. This guy belongs in prison for sedition and high treason, documented by his past actions.
I would love to see it. We gotta get some action on that. Hopefully, we do.
Everybody needs to contact Congress and demand, because by law he doesn't have to be impeached. That takes supermajority in the Senate. Right. He can be removed by simple majority for bad
in both
behavior.
Houses. That's right. That's true.
Simple majority, and the Republicans have the simple majority. There is no reason for this lawfare, which Chuck Schumer said was going to happen, with the other mouthpieces for the Democrats said was going to happen, and to the parents out there, do your homework. Understand that ADD and ADHD medications, look at the molecule. I'll give you $1 million if you show me a major molecular difference between that and meth. You're putting your kids on meth.
On meth, yeah. No, you're right.
You are putting your kids on meth.
The over-medication of these kids are definitely causing a problem. Thank you, Liberty, for the call. We really appreciate that, and for your insight on that matter. We appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Big, medical professional talking about the kids getting put on these drugs and the problems that it's causing. And you see, the rise in, trans ideology. You're seeing the trends developing. And look, the Democrats are all for it. They're all for this crap. Even the new leadership of the Democrat Party, David Hogg, they want to bring in these new Democrats that are super progressive. Right now we got Heather on the phone from Kansas City. What's up, Heather?
Well, hello there. Wait, hold on. This is Kamala, but now I'm going to go by AOC because...
well, that sounds like AOC's new accent. Yeah.
So, hi, how are you all doing?
We're good. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Brandon asked how the job was. Everything's fine today because all the supervisors are gone, it seems like. So,
nice.
But I did get a raise, so that was nice.
Nice.
So they must like me somewhat, but it doesn't go to price of living. But, hey.
Yeah.
Anything's better than nothing. But I just wanted to say, did you ever talk about the 5 single ladies in space? I don't know if you all talked about
No, you know why I didn't do it? Because I didn't care. Because I don't like Katy Perry. I the whole space thing, and then was it fake or what? You know what it is? I don't care whether it was real, whether it was fake. I don't like talking about them. I don't like any of the people that were in the rocket. If it was real, I was hoping that they got lost in space and went to Pluto. I could not care less about that whole. Seriously.
Right.
And then I saw the stupid video with the door opening, and then Bezos was like, "No, I have to use my special wrench."
Right.
Get people. Oh man.
And my thing was, why was it not even dirty? Like the little capsule wasn't.
Well, so from that, the explanation is it was never in orbit. It just went up and down. So there was no re-entry. There was no high-speed re-entry. If it went up there, I don't care. I wish it went up and never came back.
I know.
We would be better without all those people.
I know. I was just laughing because I guess she kissed the ground. I'm like, you were gone longer than you go to the bathroom.
Please. Whatever.
Anyway,
they were space cadets before they went in there. Now they're still space cadets. Whatever.
This guy that they're talking about, that MS-13 guy. Only thing that I'm not happy about that senator or whoever went to visit him, but I saw he had a Kansas City Chiefs hat on. I'm like, take it off.
Yeah, you see? He must be a Swiftie. That's all that means. He's a Swiftie. Abrego's a Swiftie.
Did they even get, like you said, they have to be held accountable, and I don't feel like these guys are ever held accountable for anything. And
He's a celebrity now in El Salvador, so yeah. But you know what? I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does in El Salvador. Stay the hell out of my country. Thanks for the call, Heather. Appreciate it.
He was born in El Salvador, right? That's why he's in El Salvador.
That's right. He's a citizen.
Anyway,
That's right.
I won't keep you. You guys have a good weekend and a happy Resurrection Sunday coming up soon. So.
Yes, you do the same. Thank you, Heather. That's Heather from Kansas City. We got time for one more. Let's see. We're connecting to this right here. That's that Abrego Garcia wearing the Bulls hat, wearing the Chiefs hat. What's up? Who do we have on the line here?
This is Great McGroin.
Great McGroin. It's Gary from Michigan. What's going on?
That's right. Nothing. I just I've been finally had a day off, so I could actually call in. But no, I wanted to talk about that Carmelo Anthony dude. And people are going to hate me for this, but I feel sorry for that kid, but only because his parents never taught him accountability, at least in my opinion.
No, I think you're right about that. I mean, and you're right to feel that way. You say you feel sorry for him because of that, and that's what led him to make these decisions. Not that you're justifying his actions, but
not at all.
Basically, your point is, to understand it better, is that it could have been prevented with better parenting and a better upbringing.
Exactly. I'm a father of 6, and I've taught my kids from day one that every action has a consequence, whether it's good or bad. It has a consequence. So you need to make sure that before you make that action, you say, okay, is this consequence going to be good or bad? Is it worth doing?
Yep.
And that's how I've raised all 6 of my kids. And granted, some of them are often older, and, hopefully they're passing that on to their kids. They seem to be, because my grandkids are awesome, but that's just,
that's
biased
great
on that. I can't argue with
that. That's a reflection on you and your values, your morals, and you ought to be proud of that. And you're right to feel that way about Carmelo Anthony. One of the things we've said is, when the first time the whole thing happened, what does his home life look like? What does his upbringing look like? Because normally when something like this happens, you could point to that and say, hey, this was a contributing factor. And I think in this case, you're 100% right.
Yeah. Yes. And I just wanted to say thank you for, one, the OFP Farms thing. I tell you what, that MAGA Nation is something else. I love it incredibly.
Great. Yes.
It's amazing. I've never even heard of goat milk soap, or soup, as somebody in the chat said, soap before. But I tell you what, it's just amazing. I don't get that nasty stuff from other bar soap, and I don't like liquid soap. I never have. So it finally got something. So yes, I'm sorry. I'm a little biased on that too, but yes. And thank you and Brennan for all the stuff you guys do.
All right. Well, thank you, Gary.
It's very informational. I appreciate it. And I'll let you get back to other callers, and you have a wonderful day and happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you too. Thank you to Gary from Michigan. Appreciate it. That'll be our final call of the day. And we're going to honk the hog again. Folks, Jeremy Harrell is up next on Live from America. Right here on LFA TV. You do not have to go anywhere. You do not have to click on any links. You do not have to pass go. You do not have to, unfortunately, collect $200. This is not Monopoly. You will be seeing Jeremy popping up on your screen shortly. Thank you so much for a great day. Hit that thumbs up button as we head out this afternoon. My gosh, listen to me. I feel like it's the afternoon. Been going for 5 straight hours. Time to rest the vocal cords. Thank you to everybody who watched and listened, as we are now handing Jeremy Harrell a beautiful 730 likes and almost 10,000 people tuned into the stream. So thank you so much. Make sure you're following this channel. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Good Friday. Have a happy Easter to everybody who is celebrating this weekend. We'll be back live on Monday, same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV, 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the repost button if you're watching over on X. And in the words of John Fetterman, the once thought of Pope of Greenland, but not anymore, right? He says, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. We will see you next Monday.